When we were at that hackathon and we were doing different types of things, the classifier has to be able to take out the noise. And what was pretty amazing, because we didn't know it was going to happen, but we actually were picking up all, because everybody was there building their solutions, and we were picking up all their RF, all their radio frequency. So it gave us the nice little challenge to be able to strip out that noise and pull out the actual actionable radio frequency to be able to identify it, right? So that was actually a bonus, because we had so many people around there with all the RF. We call it a noisy RF picture. So we were able to extract that out, but couldn't do it out with the human factor. We used AI to help us identify based on the signal strength and all those types of things, where we could extract and pull out, almost localize, but you got to have a little bit more data for the localization. And we only had a day and a half really of the coding and everything to try to get it all to work. But that was the whole thing. You have to get enough data to be able to classify it. And as I said, until you classify it, how do you know it's a threat? And you really don't. And this is where I still see people making the mistake. Just like, oh, we got to detect it. Absolutely, you got to detect it. But what do you do with it when you detect it? It doesn't do you any good if you detect it and you can't classify it. All right, as I said, the threat, and unfortunately when the Vincennes shot down the airliner, that airliner was coming a constant bearing decrease in range right at the ship. They had to make a decision. Are we going to let this unknown aircraft at the time, are we going to let this unknown aircraft come all the way into the ship? Remember, CBDR, constant bearing decrease in range, which means it's going to hit you unless it changes course or you change course, but you can't outrun an air contact with a ship. It ain't going to happen. You can't, that ship can't go fast enough to change course and do everything, go flank speed. That aircraft is still, if it's on a constant bearing, it's going to hit you. So what are you going to do with it? In this case, the commander fired and shot it down. And unfortunately, it was an airliner. But I mean, that's what you're dealing with out there as well with the drones. If you can't classify it, how long do you wait before you make that decision to shoot it? Right? Or we call it soft kill, hard kill. Soft kill, you just try to disable it. Hard kill, kinetic. You blow it up, right? Those types of things. This is a big problem out there, and we still have that problem today because people keep writing detection and all this other stuff, and the AI is there to help us, but we're not doing a good job of classification. At least nothing I've seen so far is doing a good job of classification, largely because people are writing all the detection stuff, and they keep ignoring you when you ask about classification. I always tell everybody, everything's a data source. Think about it. You're taking a physical data source and you're putting it into a digital format, which is binary. And then in that binary format, you're going to display it in some type of display system. Well, you got to have telemetry or metadata about that actual blip. Called a blip because of sonar. I like sonar. A blip of sonar. And when you have that blip, you need that telemetry to know what that blip is. Classification. Why? Because you got to prioritize what's going to be your biggest threat. That's the one you have to deal with first. Otherwise, as I said, you got to brace and take the hit, because it's going to hit you if it's on a constant bearing decrease in range. And that's why that commander of the Vincennes, unfortunately, had really kind of no choice other than shoot it down or wait and see if you get lucky and it's not actually a threat to the ship. But how many people want to take that chance that it's a missile or something, aircraft coming in and going to hit your ship?